RC University was established in October 2014 with the objective of providing teaching, research and community service. To realize its objectives, the university organizes research conferences annually. The 5th National Research Conference was held under a theme of quality education for sustainable socio-economic development in Ethiopia. Scholars from various universities across the country, elders, abagadas and other concerned bodies have participated in the conference. Different research papers on various issues were also presented by different scholars from various universities. Vice President for Research and Community Services of RC University, Dr. Kasim Kumo, said that quality education includes reorientation, attitudinal change, and critical thinking, among others.
It is recognized that quality education is not only about access to education, but it also requires reorientation of education system that provides knowledge, skill, values, attitudes, which respond to individual, nationally, and global needs, expectations. Quality education encourages the development of critical thinking, which fosters the desire and capacity for long life learning. Education for sustainable socio-economic development is a good quality education, which is about what and how people learn, and it is relevant to today's world, and it is global, environmental, social changes. Education for sustainable socio-economic development has spread across all levels and areas of education in all regions of the world, and is widely considered a key in supporting sustainable development. International and national strategy dealing with the economic, social, and environmental dimension of sustainable development are beginning to reflect education for sustainable socio-economic development as a crucial issue.
Dean of College of Education and Behavioral Science at RC University, Dr. Tolera Nagasa, also said that poor quality education system in the country has been affecting and influencing the quality of providing service in the other sectors. He added that the solution is in the hands of the scholars in the country.
There's long history since quality of education challenged and continue to influence the quality of service in other sectors. Today, we observe the concern of our stakeholders regarding the capacity of our graduates, behavior of our students, the quality of service we provide to them. On top of that, power of content at schools and university couldn't create a strong base for the political discourse and the economic problem we have now. To me, all contributed to the dissatisfaction of our society, which resulted in conflict and turmoil. But still, we believe the solution is to our problems are in the hands of well-educated people and the power of research results, particularly research on quality of education. To this end, RC University College of Education and Behavioral Science has made an announcement for the 5th National Research Conference on Quality of Education for Sustainable Socio-Economic Development in Ethiopia, with the objective, share knowledge, co-create quality of education at all levels. In order to address the thematic area, about 108 abstracts were submitted from different universities for the conference.
Guest speaker of the conference, Professor Dripsa Dufera, also said that researching on various areas of challenges in the education system is very crucial in order to alleviate the problem from the grassroots level.
High quality education and effective learning experience to all learners, we need to critically analyze the different dimensions of quality education. Many of the studies so far conducted have very limited scope and longitudinal comparability and lacks a strong system-wide tradition of diagnosing and analyzing, improving and sustaining quality. Trying to address this issue of education quality by treating separate dimensions of educational quality is like forgetting the forest when looking for individual trees. To to address the education quality issue, holistic approach is mandatory.
Vice Head of the Oromia Education Bureau, Dr. Galana Waldemikael, for his part, said that the issue of education quality is under pressure in Oromia regional state in particular and in the country in general. Dr. Galana added that the government has been working to solve the problem step by step. He noted that improving school standard is one and a very essential element.
Trying to know the problem, and we are trying to identify what we need and what we don't need. So, for example, some of the parameters that will help us to increase the standard of the schools could be done at the school level, at Warada level, and at bureau level with less amount of resource. And then some of them require, for example, inputs, such as, for example, qualified teachers, qualified school management, and furnitures, classrooms to the standard, IT, textbooks, reference books, supplementary reading materials, and so on are needed. And even infrastructure, such as, for example, electricity, such as internet service, and so on. So all at once we cannot provide all this, but actually we are trying to get whatever we need. What we are going to do is simply we have to choose some parameters which we can use in the schools.
And also there are questions raised from different scholars. There is a problem within the curriculum itself in Ethiopia. And the curriculum developers and research makers sometimes do not have interconnection. The policy makers are from the side of the government, some scholars say, and the researchers are from the side of the higher learning education institutions. And how do you compromise this?
Yeah. The existing curriculum of Ethiopia, or in general, or Oromia in particular, has a problem. This was identified actually, and what the so-called problem identified in the preparation of this roadmap, this is also one of the basic problem of Ethiopian education. Therefore, if you want to change our educational system, necessarily we have to look back to our curriculum. So curriculum revision or even reconstruction might be very important, okay? But now it is of course confirmed that there are a lot of problems. The curriculum do not compete with the existing period of the globe.
Director for Academic Relevance and Quality Assurance at RC University, Dr. Ndalo Fufa, also said that there are many factors that put education quality under problem.
Education comes to be a problem for three main reasons. When your supply is more than you can consume, for example, if your teachers are highly qualified but serve at lower level, they are overqualified but underutilized. That's a problem. It's more likely for them to see turnover. They go. The second is, at points, the teachers are much more less qualified than the level demands. So they are underqualified but overutilized. At points, we say a person knows mathematics so that he can teach mathematics. Knowing a subject and teaching a subject are two disparate things. And massification is partly a problem, but not holistically a problem. People should get access to education, but take responsibility for their own learning. So a part of the problem also lies in the role of the students.
The third one?
The third one is how we assess learning. The type of tests and practices we give. We should know the nature of the course and objectives to be attained when we go to class to teach. How should we weigh the students' learning, measure, assess, and give feedback so that we can realize if or not the students are learning to the standard. It is a cumulative of these. So I want to stress three things. First of all, what's our input like? And second, what's our process like in terms of the interaction between students and teachers? And the third is, how do we assess and come up with outputs? And what reaction do we give students
And then what's our outcome like?
Dr. Ndalu noticed that teachers have enormous role in realizing a quality education in conducive environment.
Teachers should have instructional, managerial, and counseling roles, and our training base to the most extent is just for access to have teachers in the class, not quality teachers. And teachers cannot support one another based on experiences and their evidences of being good teachers. So you cannot make out who is good and who is not good, who is contributive to the students' conditions or who is not that much contributive. Teachers are said to be just teachers. The other is the teaching learning environment. Mind you, equality does not mean that the students should achieve all at equal basis. There are differences in students' achievements. Some are higher, some are middle, average, and the rest are slow. So conditions to bring things to the maximum achievement and enablers in course provision are in question. It's perplexing actually to say, because teachers, for one thing, do not have good teaching experience or training base to be teachers. They are just nominated from or employed from other field areas without having fields of pedagogy. And the second is there is not encouraging condition, no incentive for best teachers. There is promotion, which is based on research to the most and effective teaching grade and something like that, of evaluation based on peer evaluation, student evaluation and the likes. But these are not enough. There must be a point at which we take hard-working teachers to be in place who read, prepare notes, produce, guide students. So an instructional role of the teacher is very much diminishing. If you go around universities these days, nobody listens to the teacher. The teacher is not at all a manager in the class. The students go as they may, because external conditions pressurize them to act the way they like. It's only when disaster comes around, when failure comes around, that the teacher is to be where? What is the teacher?
So how should this be solved?
Yes, if a teacher is to act like a manager and an instructional expert, that condition should be left to the teacher.
And you have also presented a research paper that you conducted on quality education.
Yes.
What is the content of that research? Why you need to present it?
Thank you. My research was based on intra-group synergy creation among students, and especially among female students. And I studied how far female students themselves happen to be self-reliant in the university. In academic realms to the most extent, but socially also. And I held a kind of comparison between their involvements in social conditions and academic conditions. When I looked into the condition in academic realms, the academic synergy rate was very low from the engagement of students, and the social sphere is very high. And even in the social sphere, some conditions were more inviting than other conditions. So there should be attention to both academic and social engagements of students in creating synergy, but more to use that social condition to be feeder for the academic condition, and especially academic involvement of students.